Hello there, Mr. Choose here with Tray Arithmetic. Let's talk about subtracting fractions. But before I get started, let me explain to you that when I do my bare algebra and my brachiometry videos, I usually wear a tie because I like teaching in a tie. But since we're doing basic arithmetic, I'm just kind of casual, wearing my hoodie, and I got a hat on. I wear lots of Under Armour hats. So we're going to talk about converting fractions. Remember, I have lots of videos on my YouTube channel, and in order to get all these videos out to people so that they can get the help they need, if their math questions are out there and they feel like that their teacher maybe didn't explain it so that they understand, let me try. So, like my videos. It helps me out and it pushes them out to more people when I get a lot of likes. Also, subscribe. There'll be a button down here on this side in the YouTube channel where you can click on it to subscribe, and then you'll see more of my videos and you'll be able to search things in my channel. So when you're subtracting fractions, you have to convert any mixed numbers to improper fractions, first of all, because it has to be fraction and fraction. Well, that's the easiest way to do it. Then you find a common denominator, or you use the crisscross shortcut. I had a couple videos with the crisscross shortcut that'll be in my playlist that you can click on at the end of the video if you need to review that. And then you add the numerators and you put it over that common denominator, and then you simplify, and then if necessary you convert back to a mixed number from an improper fraction. So if I have 7/9 minus 3/4, we do it the same way that we did addition, only instead of adding the fractions, we're subtracting them because it has that minus sign in between there. So we have to find a common denominator. So the denominator has to be the same. Now, I haven't gone through any videos of finding the least common denominator. We're just finding the common denominator and then reducing. So the easiest way to do that is just take the denominators and multiply them. So 9 times 4 is going to give me my common denominator. So I'm going to have to multiply that 9 times 4. But if you multiply the denominator by a number, in order for it to be an equivalent ratio, you have to multiply the numerator by that same number. And 4 over 4 is 1. And 7/9 times 1 is 7/9. So that gives me an equivalent fraction. Then I take my 3/4 and I multiply it by the 4 times the 9, the other denominator, over itself. So when I'm multiplying two fractions, I multiply the numerators, 7 times 4, and I use a raised dot for multiplication. And then I multiply the denominators and put that in the denominator on both sides. Now I simplify it. 7 times 4 is 28. 9 times 4 is 36. 3 times 9 is 27. 4 times 9 is 36. Whenever I have the same denominator, I can do the operation of the numerators over that denominator. So it's 28 minus 27 over 36. So that's 1/36. And that is my final answer. So there's no simplifying that, and that's a very, very small number. All right, so now let's get to number 2. Remember, the first thing you have to do, if it is mixed numbers, and this is one of the ways, there is an alternate way, and I'll do a video on it later, but let's just do fraction rules now. So I've got 5 3/4, and I convert that to an improper fraction. And the way you do that, you take the denominator, multiply it by the whole number, and then add in the numerator over that denominator. And I'm subtracting. So I take my denominator of 8, multiply by the whole number 2, and then add in the 7 for the numerator over 8. Now there is a way you could find the least common denominator here, but I haven't gone through that yet. That's a whole nother video. So let's go ahead and let's simplify each numerator. 4 times 5 is 20 plus 3 over 4 minus 8 times 2 is 16 plus 7 over 8. Now I can simplify these two into 20 plus 3 is 23 fourths minus 16 plus 7 is 23 eighths. Well, that's unusual looking. I've got the same numerator, but I've got different denominators. So I have to get a common denominator. So let's just take and rewrite this. And just like we did over here, we're going to take and multiply this first fraction by 8 over 8. The second fraction by 4 over 4. Why? Because I have to have the same number. And look what we get. A 32 here and a 32 here. Which is what we want. So this is 23 times 8. Remember, when you're multiplying two fractions, you multiply the numerators, put it in the numerator, multiply the denominators, put it in the denominator. And our whole goal is to get that same denominator. So 23 times 8, we'll do it here since this is an arithmetic class. 8 times 3 is 24. Carry the 2. 16 plus 2 is 18. So that's 184 over 32 minus 23 times 4. 4 times 3 is 12. Carry the 1. 4 times 2 is 8. Plus 1 is 92. I wrote it wrong. I wrote 29 instead of 92. 8 times 4 is 32. I have the same denominator, so now I can write this subtraction in the numerator over that denominator. And now I'm going to go ahead and write it up into here. So 184 minus 92. So I'm going to have to take my 184, subtract my 92. 2 from 4 is 2. 9 from 18 is 9. So that's 92 over 32. Next thing I have to do, I have to divide the 92 by the 32. 32 will not divide into 9, but it'll divide into 92 2 times, because 3 would be 96. That's too big. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6, and I subtract. I'm going to borrow here. 4 from 12 is 8. 6, 28. So my answer is the whole number 2, and it becomes a mixed number. And then the remainder here is my numerator over my denominator. But 28 over 32, they're both even, so I can divide them by 2, but there's a bigger number. I can divide them by 4. So I have my 2 and 28 32nds, and I divide it by 4 over 4, which is 1. And I do it to the denominator and the numerator. So my answer is 2 and 7/8. So here it is, step by step. And if you would need to save this, you could always pause the video while you're writing it down. Okay, so I am going to give you a couple challenge problems. Make sure you like this video if it's helpful to you. Make sure that you follow me on this YouTube channel, because I do these videos for you. I taught for 24 years, in the public schools. And then I decided I'm not done teaching, but I'm not going to teach in a school. I'm going to teach with my videos. All right. So here are your challenge problems. Find a common denominator, subtract a fraction, and simplify. Challenge 1, 11/12 minus 2/3. Challenge 2, 6 5/6 minus 3 3/4. So here is my challenge to you. Get out a piece of paper, write these two down, stop and pause my video, work them out, and then when you start the video again, there'll be a link up here, which is a link to these problems that are worked out. And then down here will be a playlist of a bunch of addition and subtraction of fraction videos. So make sure you pause it, work them out. I am Mr. Chu. This is Trey Arithmetic. Make sure you like this video and subscribe. Let me help you. Mr. Chu wants to help you work on the fractions. I'll see you in the next video.